Not far from the truth.
I just hear that there's a lot of spiders there. That's what I've always heard. The wildlife in that space was wild.
I really appreciated the effort from the person previous to me to just put some tape at the bottom of the door. Like, that was just going to solve all the problems.
Yeah.
For the spiders. I was like, all right, it's time for some new masking tape. This is a great solution.
What was your first station?
I actually liked that.
Yeah.
Living there. It's private.
What was the first thing you did at Meadowood after you got hired?
Pastry 2.
Pastry 2, right.
So the breakdown of Meadowood is very interesting.
Yeah.
Apart from every other... I shouldn't say apart from every other. Who am I kidding?
Yeah.
Our station breakdown was very interesting. So we had stations Pastry 2, Pastry 1, and we tried to keep the flow of how people started in this vein, depending on their skill set. But we tried to keep this as a very constant way of progression, I guess.
Right.
Pastry 2, Pastry 1, Garde Manger, and then we had a 3-man hotline, fish station, veg station, and meat station. And then we also had a snack station. But veg was actually our headline cook.
Which is usually meat guy.
Yeah.
It's usually meat guy in every other restaurant.
Yeah,
except
normally.
for fish restaurants, obviously. But yeah, that was what interested me. I was like, a place where the vegetables matter more than the meat? Mm-hmm. I like that.
Well, this person worked in between the two protein stations.
You were basically entremet for both.
Yeah, and you had all the communication. You controlled the flow of service. You controlled the flow of the line. You were the person that was intended to communicate with the sous chefs.
Yeah.
And let them know what was going on. That you knew what was going on in the hotline the entire time.
Yeah.
But there was no pastry chef at Meadowood, which was always incredibly interesting to me.
Miles was heading that up pretty strongly at that point.
When I started, yeah, a little bit. But Ignacio was on pastry 1.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So this is like the one point that I know of, and that we had like an official pastry cook working a pastry station.
Yeah, that actually... Yeah.
Crazy. So he actually headed up pastries pretty well, but...
he worked at the laundry for like fucking 7 years or some shit.
Yeah, Ignacio was fantastic. I would not have made it past pastry 2 without him, probably.
Yeah. Him and Ivan's Biscuits.
World renowned.
Yeah,
whoever that
sure.
Ivan is, we gotta meet that guy.
So you get off of P2, did you go to Garde Manger? Or P1?
Things were weird.
Yeah.
And a lot of people got fired real quick when I started, which made me very nervous for my
it made
job.
everyone nervous. I was always like, even after 2 years of working there, I was like, you can get fired tomorrow. Do the right thing.
So no, I skipped ahead to snack station. I had pastry 2 all the way to snack station.
Got you. And that was a tough snack station back in the day.
That was a very tough station.
Did you do kale chips?
I didn't do kale chip. I've done them, though, for 12 days.
Yeah.
I think we have brought them back, and I'm like, God bless. God bless Richard Wang.
Richard Wang. Top 5 dead or alive kale chip maker.
No. But yeah, snacks was difficult. And then after snacks, I did fish, and then did veg.
Yeah. And then after that, which no one had ever seen, you went from veg to become a sous chef.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was right before we did 12 days, which
Right.
was also my first 12 days.
Yeah,
And it
that's
was
right.
as a sous chef.
Yeah.
Super fun.
What year was that? That was the year Trevor came.
That was the year before.
Okay, got you.
So this was 2017.
Okay.
Was my first 12 days.
Got you. You remember who the chefs were?
I do. Day 1 was Kong Hans Kelder, Mark
Oh, that's right. Robbie Sandberg.
And incredibly difficult.
Yeah. Robert Sandberg basically cooked every single piece of food.
He was great.
For their side, yeah. He was good.
No. That was a very, very, very difficult first 12 days.
Yeah, for sure.
And then day 2 was Indian accent.
Oh, that was dope.
That was
dope, yeah.
Super cool.
Chef Manish. No one knows what day 3 was.
No, day 3 was Jessica Wargi.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Day
that's right.
4...
She just opened
Simone. She was about to open
right,
Simone.
That's right, yeah.
She was about to open Simone.
That was some flavorful food. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 12 days I think was the best experience that I've ever had cooking. Like it exposed every weakness, it exposed every strength. It fucking made you grow like a dog years in those 12 days, you know.
I loved becoming a sous chef right before it, because if I had failed during that, I just would have just been like, all right, bad decision. You're out. Like, everything's out in the open, you know?
That's funny.
Jeremiah and Fabian came that year.
That's right.
Chambrock came that year, which was incredible. There's a lot of great chefs.
Egg sheets. That was a lot of talent that year for sure. Yeah. After that, you're basically pastry chef or pastry sous chef, pastry side sous chef. And I was heading up the hotline. And then John was expediting basically. Carl was hotline as well. And I think at that time they went to go open Charter Oak, so Miles was like no longer there. Yeah,
so they had already gone over to open Charter Oak had opened before that 12 days. We had opened that in the fall.
That's right.
Of 2017. Chef Kat had just opened Charter Oak, and she had taken Miles, Lipsky, a couple other team members, core team members.
Yeah, I think we were like 8.
We were a small
after all said
team.
Was done, we were all small. Yeah, for a long time.
That was the beginning of us being a tiny team that never got bigger.
Like an 8-person team for pretty much the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We shrunk a little bit more during the pandemic, believe it or not.
Yeah.
We were like 6 cooks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we didn't want to necessarily hire anybody for them to move out here to not be able to
then not work,
give them a job. What's the point?
Yeah. That actually, I was glad I saw the kid on the hearth yesterday. And I had hired him during COVID and then had to like call him and was like, hey, we can't hire you. And he's like, well, I'm already moving out there. So
he's like, I'm coming, buddy.
Yeah, but he was cool because he's like, I'm just going to get another job and just like when it opens up, let me know.
Yeah.
And I was happy to see him on the hearth yesterday because we kept our promise through the change of chefs, changing of the guards, you know.
100%.
For sure. So big thing happened for you. You became CDC of the restaurant. Fucking dope. How did that all happen? And did you see that for yourself? To
be completely honest, when Chef came to me with this proposition, I was pretty blindsided. I did not think that I was anywhere near talented enough. Did not think I was anywhere near ready. Couldn't have been more honored, obviously, but truly blindsided. But that was Chef John, the previous chef to Cuisine, was leaving along with Chef Kat. So you went over to be the chef of Charter Oak.
Yeah.
I was going to be the chef of the restaurant at Meadowood.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, when that offer happened, I feel like I literally felt my soul leave my body. I was just like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
But I got over myself and I took the job because I would have had to have been an idiot not to. This is a dream come true. Yeah. Especially when you are recognized in the eyes of your mentor.
100%.
Yeah. That is an incredible feeling.
Yeah.
That is an incredible feeling. So regardless of how you feel about it, you just decide that you're going to show up.
Yeah, for sure. I was...
Make it happen.
Before that, I was like, man, I wanted to be CDC at that restaurant so badly, and Chef didn't see that for me. And at the time, I didn't understand it. I was like pissed off by it, you know what I mean? But then as time went on and I did the Charter Oak thing, like I understood like where he was coming from. Because while I do like the what we were doing up there, it just like I didn't have the strength of the ideation for the food. You know what I mean? As much as you did. Like, you were just like a natural at R&Ding that kind of food and like really making his vision, where I was a lot simpler in my, in the way that I thought of food. So it worked out that we went where we went, you know what I mean? And when, he was like, yeah, so Jacqueline's going to be this, I was like, fuck yes. You know what I mean? No. And I think that you are the youngest, I want to say, 3-star CDC female in the world. No? I mean, name another one, people. Sucio.Talk, motherfuckers. Let's go. Trivia. Fucking, how old are you?
28.
28 years old. CDC of a 3-star Michelin. Strong female lead.
Stop.
Who else we got in the world that's doing that? I don't think anybody. Because before you, Chef Kat was the first. Yeah. Right? So that would make you the second.
I feel like there might have been someone in between there.
Maybe 3 or 4, but still.
We'll fact check it.
We got to fact check, and that's why we got to have Alexa up in here.
That was another huge part when Chef offered this to me. I think I had just turned 26.
Yeah,
and I was literally shitting my pants.
Yeah, for sure. It's a big. I mean, at that point, it's your
not literally. All right, relax.
Your third restaurant, no? Like on your resume?
Yeah. Don't rub it in, but yeah.
No. I'm the same. I feel the same way because I worked at, Trattoria, Tallulah on Thames, restaurant at Meadowood, Charter Oak.
Yeah.
So up until now, like I've only worked at 4 restaurants ever, and I've interviewed people that have worked at 12 restaurants.
Yeah.
And sometimes I wish I had done that, but then I don't like to wish I had done something. I just like live with what I am and try to fucking get better at what I haven't done, like stage places, and it's never too late to stage. And that's what kind of guys like Nephi Craig showed me, Nathan Kryler, like the fact that they're able to like at 45 years old come out and stage with us and just like hang out.
Absolutely, and they're the coolest guys.
Exactly, they're really cool guys.
Very talented, very intelligent guys.
Very cool.
Because they're willing to go out and stage, and that's something that I'm trying to get out and do a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure. After I think when you're in that world, you're like, well, why would I go stage? I'm working at the best restaurant ever. And then 12 Days also made it
12 consecutive stages.
Exactly.
Which is pretty incredible.
Which you look forward to, and you were like, I'm going to get my 12 stages this December, so I don't need to go stage anywhere.
In a way, I've staged 36 times.
Exactly.
The past few years.
There you go.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've definitely thought about that a lot. I definitely did not envision, when I moved out to California, I definitely did not envision myself being out here for such a long time. But, things change when you find a restaurant that you really fall in love with, and a chef that you really believe in, and food that you really identify with and that you want to be able to create. And it's like working for Chef as far as ideation. It is such a challenge, and it's such a fun one.
It really is, yeah. Well, he's a really hard person to impress.
Yeah.
And that was what you could see. Like, if you could nail something for him, then you were like, you felt really good about yourself. You know what I mean?
1,000%.
Yeah.
Because Chef has this incredible clarity in his vision of food and the way that he thinks about most things in general.
Right.
Where he's able to just, we'll do these tastings, and he'll just be like, yeah, I mean, this is delicious, but is it special? And you're like, well, I thought delicious was kind of the goal here, but you know what? The special thing, all right, you're making me think in a completely different way.
Yeah.
And how fucking fun is that? And it's like, since the restaurant has burned down, we have this insane luxury of time, which can be a very hard thing to deal with because obviously chefs, cooks, we're creatures of habit. We rely on the daily wins. We rely on the services. There is nothing better than a service where you are completely locked in, hyper-focused. You have to know everything that's going on in the kitchen. And you are just so in tune with everything. The communication with front of the house is on point. The communication with the expediter is on it. You just know the board without looking back at it, and your plating and everything is, and your hotline is just working in sync, and your cold side is just working like an incredible team. And the communication across the whole restaurant can just be felt anywhere you are. And that is incredible. And so to go a year without it, sometimes it can be incredibly hard to justify what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah.
Even though like, and this is something that, I've had to talk myself into 1,000 times, is being steadfast in this project because I have all of this firm belief in what we're building. And if Chef weren't someone with such a clear vision, and if he weren't someone that I truly loved working with, I would not still be here.
Yeah.
But to have someone who is able to lose a restaurant